Welcome back to another episode of Alive Partner. And this is Dr. Maria Teres Leon, your host in this special edition of Alive Partner TV. And today I want to speak about a topic that is something that comes up quite often and definitely in the community. And we get to see it a lot in the different experiential courses that we have in our community. And by the way, if you're new to our show, I want to give you the warmest of welcomes. And I'm going to ask you to subscribe to our newsletter so you can start receiving the tips and tools that we put out every single week that people have been receiving in our community. And if you want more of this and be able to be part of the community, which is absolutely free, all you have to do is just click on the link below so you can actually come and join us at the Alive Community Membership site. It's absolutely free. There's tons of resources inside of the Alive Archives, which is the free resources section of the Alive community site. But today I want to talk about this aspect of thank you paid. And you may be wondering, well, what exactly is all that stuff about? Well, one of the things that comes up a lot, especially in the 28-day gratitude launchpad that we do, which we also call GL28, is the aspect of experiencing lack in our lives. It may be in the form of not having the job that we want, the profession that we have. Maybe the finances have been completely challenged. And if this is something that you're experiencing, I'm going to ask you and invite you to put your comment below so you can let us know if this is something that resonates with you. We see it quite a bit. And one of the hardest things to do is if you're having these kinds of challenges, how do you dial in? How do you tune in to have a completely different experience? And today I am actually going to give you a very quick tip. I do this in my daily life. In fact, I've gone as far as I'll show you or tell you about a particular tool that I use to be able to go against all of this and have ease and flow with everything that is financial. As you may imagine, one of the hardest things to do if you're feeling limited with your finances, let's say that you want to buy a new car and you definitely don't have it, or bills are just coming in and they feel overwhelming. Well, to feel anything different but all the overwhelm that generates can be extremely challenging. What I have discovered and I teach in my community is how do we bring gratitude into those moments that we're feeling all of that discomfort so that we can have a different experience with that particular area of our lives. Let's say if it's just financial, the aspect of those bills coming in, how can I just open up and start creating a different relationship? One of the things that I teach as the tools to do that is we find ourselves in what I call the negativity loop. And the actual instrument or tool that I use to be able to stop that so you don't start going down in a spiral is creating a big wedge that you can lodge in that negativity loop so that it gets interrupted. And I do that with the aspect of gratitude. Let's just think about this for a second. Imagine that you get a bill, an electrical bill, and it's for, let's say $200. And suddenly you're feeling so strapped, and now you have to pay that on top of everything else that you have to pay for, right? But the fact of the matter is, you have been receiving that service, you have been using that service. That service has allowed you to do a lot of different things in your life, and you did not even think about it. But what if instead of just looking at that particular bill coming in, I was to tune in into, wow, I am so profoundly grateful for the fact that I had those services be offered to me. And I didn't even have to pay for them right away. Essentially, I received all of that. And after the fact, after I use all of those services, now is when that bill is coming in. So instead of just going into the all the things that are missing for you, all the things that are negative, you're starting to switch the conversation, the inner conversation about how gratitude shifts and completely changes the polarity of the sensations that you're having inside. As you're listening to this, you may be having a reaction as though, no, I don't buy that. That doesn't work. I have seen this over and over and over for years now and teaching it to people in my community and shifting the relationship with that. But I take it a step further. So not only that, I actually have a rubber stamp that I had at Office Depot created for me. You can go to your local company that makes office related products. And it says, thank you paid, exclamation mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark. And every time that I get a bill, whether it's a physical bill or if it's actually a virtual bill that I get on an email, I print it out and I stamp on it, thank you, paid. That allows me to have a completely different relationship with it. Even if you still haven't paid for it, just go ahead and stamp that. It's going to start repatterning and changing the relationship that you have with that particular agent, if you want to call it, or this incident or this trigger point that just drives you bananas. Now, I have taken this a step further and created a second rubber stamp that I use in combination with the thank you paid stamp. And it actually says, thank you for the money. And it has $3 signs. And if you're living in Europe, you can put the euro, whatever the denomination in your country is. As you're watching this, you can do it. You say, thank you for all the money. So if I were to show you one of my invoices or bills that I receive, I have two big messages in every single one of them. Thank you paid and thank you for all the money. Up to this point in my journey, I don't really think about the difficulty of the money's not there or this has to be paid. It really brings such a deep sense of gratitude. I've been able to change my relationship with every single one of the things that comes in. And not only that, to teach it to thousands of people now through my courses, through my emails, through all the content that I put out. And it has really changed the relationship of how people relate to these things that can be very triggersome for many until you start to interrupt that negativity loop, that negativity pattern by bringing gratitude into it. In a matter of less than 24 hours, we will be starting another cycle of GL28. And this is a 28-day gratitude launchpad. If this is something that has resonated with you, I'm going to invite you to join us for the next cycle. I'll be walking with you for 28 days, every single day, inside of a private community where there's no social media interaction and you're receiving the guidance on a daily basis. I walk with my people every single day. I communicate with them, and we're all interacting and supporting one another in this journey of the 28-day gratitude launchpad, also known as GL28. The aspect of finances comes up in the journey, and people completely go beyond it. And the thank you paid and thank you for the money is one of the things that we teach inside of the journey. So click on the link below so you can get more information, or simply just go to alivepartner.com/GL28, G as in goose, L as in lion, and the number 28, GL28. So you can join us in this new cycle that starts May 1st, and we will be all together with people from all over the world for 28 days. And I can guarantee you one thing, your life will be absolutely transformed by the time that this is all done. And if you have any questions about that, go to alivepartner.com/GL28 so you can take a look at the testimonials and what people have to say about this. You can also find us on Facebook, on Instagram, clearly here on YouTube as well, so you can see some of the content that we put out and the reactions and how the impact that this program has had on people have completely changed their lives. Until next time, when I see you again here on Alive Partner TV, this is Dr. Mario Torres Leon. If you have liked this content, please leave me a message. Follow us here in the channel so that we can continue to communicate with you. And as I like to say in every single episode of my shows, if this content has resonated deeply with you, share it with somebody that you love in your life or a group of people that you love in your life, because in you sharing this content, you may be the one who is a catalyst of great change for them. And you are at the center of that change. I hope that this has been completely useful for you and change your perspective of how to relate to these challenges, particularly when it comes to financial matters. Until next time, I hope you have an amazing rest of the day and the week, and I'm looking forward to seeing you next time. So long.